Growing up as a woman in India, you're sometimes forced to grow up too soon. Especially when you grow up in a big city like Bombay. It's crowded, it's chaotic. You might have a sense of your personal bubble, but in Bombay, your personal bubble doesn't exist. It's being burst all the time. So everyone is just like existing in these spheres simultaneously. I remember from a very young age, I was traveling by, say, public bus with my mom. And I remember being felt up for the first time. Every woman in India has a story of how she's been sexually harassed in some way. There's so many pressures also because there's so much population, there's so much competition. I stopped playing. You know, that idea of playtime just kind of went from my life. Your childhood is kind of like lost. When I first started surfing, I felt like a kid again. It was pure, it was innocent, you know, it was joyful. I'm Ishita Malaviya. I live on the southwest coast of India in a small fishing village. River on one side and sea on the other. So we're surrounded by water, so it kind of feels like you're on an island. I knew early on that I loved being close to nature. I liked the simple life. I was pretty lucky, like my parents have never stopped me from doing anything. A lot of parents don't encourage their daughters to get in the water because they worry about what clothes they're going to wear. They don't want them to hang out with the boys. And the biggest one is they don't want them to get dark. Because in India, dark skin is looked down upon. It's not considered beautiful. So they always say, like, who's going to marry you? I never thought that I would start surfing in India. You know, growing up, it was always my dream to come to California and start surfing. Most people in India are like afraid of the water. They're just terrified of the sea. In fact, a lot of people don't even know how to swim. Like, for example, I look at my younger cousin sisters. They've grown up in California and they don't surf. Like, that's crazy to me, right? And then I thought about it, like, it's because obviously my family doesn't surf. You know, they think of the ocean as a scary place. And surfing is expensive. You need someone to drive you to the beach. So if you don't come from like a typical Californian surfer family, it can be hard to start surfing. The more I traveled, I realized that it's rare to see women in the water. The women's surf community is small. And then in that women's community, it's very rare to see brown women in the water. The surf industry kind of only portrays a typical blonde girl, blue eyes, you know? And I never saw anyone who looked like me, someone I could relate to, you know? So I had this idea to just put out an Instagram post and let women know that I'm trying to showcase diversity in women surfing. Even though I received like an overwhelmingly positive response from women of various ethnic backgrounds, Asian, African, Latina women. A lot of them were based in Santa Cruz and San Francisco, especially women from these two groups called Brown Girl Surf and Black Girl Surf that are doing an exceptional job of encouraging women from, you know, diverse backgrounds to get into the water. Women who probably didn't have access to it growing up. Yeah, but I did get the chance to meet Anupa, who is of Indian background, but she's born and raised in California. Anupa? Hey, so good to meet you. Thanks so much for coming down. This is my sister Vanya.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm so you made it.
I'm so excited to meet you, Bob.
Yeah, me too. You're like, just like Indians representing today, you know? Only the Indian girls made it down to the beach in the rain, and cold. I'm finding more of my kind. Every year there are more and more women who are like starting to surf, which is nice, you know, because when I started, I didn't have any other women to catch waves with. I was always in the lineup with only guys, and guys have so much strength, you know, like they just like casually paddle out, and I was so weak when I started. I would get beat up by the board. I was like bruised all over, you know. I would surf for like 10 minutes and then go cry for 10 minutes on the beach, you know. I would Google Indian women surfing and nothing would show up, you know, like I looked for so many years.
Now it's you.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Which is amazing.
I had an idea that, you know, like, I'm the first female surfer, but like for the first few years, even I didn't believe it. I was like, no, there must be some Indian women surfing somewhere, you know. Even abroad, there aren't that many brown women in the water.
Yeah.
You know, it's rare to see Indian women. And I'm so glad I found you, you know, because we're like definitely a rare breed, and yeah.
I just love the ocean, so any other water activities,
Yeah.
snorkeling, free diving, scuba diving, paddleboarding,
Yeah.
all of those things. But in all of those,
Yeah.
you never really see other brown women
Yeah.
or people of color. For surfing in particular, I feel like it's kind of intimidating, like the surf culture, to kind
Yeah.
of get involved.
Yeah.
And then to not see anyone that looks like you
Yeah.
in it, it feels even harder.
Yeah. Like Vanya grew up in California, you know? Like had I grown up here, I would have definitely been surfing, you know? And then I look at my cousins and I'm like today was literally like maybe her second time in the Pacific Ocean in her life, and she's 16 years old, you know? So, but would you want to keep surfing out here? What do you think?
Yeah, but I just want someone to do it with me.
You want someone to do it with you? Yeah. She's just so cool. Her style of surfing, you know, she's so graceful and yeah, very spiritual, humble, down to a genuine person, very genuine and very warm. And I mean, all of this I already knew, you know, from watching all her interviews online. And then to get to meet her in person and for her to be just as awesome, you know. I couldn't believe I was surfing with her because for me, it was a dream to meet her one day. And I feel like it all came full circle for me. What an honor. And it was just beautiful. We saw waves, and who better to surf Malibu with than with the queen of Malibu, you know? She's the queen of longboarding.